If you can't watch a full podcast, watch a clip instead. You'll be as entertained and as informed. That's my guarantee. That's why you gotta subscribe to Dostcast Clips. Who is fighting from the mosque's side to make sure that the mosque remains? And I obviously know you mentioned the father-son duo of the Jains who are taking this battle to court.
Yeah.
But who is representing the mosque now, and what is their claim? And do you think they are maybe wrongly vilified or wrongly vilified custodians of a mosque they're forced to inherit?
Yeah, true. I mean, when you said the Mughal rule is over or Aurangzeb is dead, literally that might be the case, but metaphorically, perhaps not. When even now you have political parties and people who go to Aurangzeb's mazar and offer their tributes to a man who has been the cause of so much, harm to fellow Indians, raised so many temples, thousands of people killed, then it raises serious questions saying, is this the person who's considered a hero by a section of people, and why? Why should that be? Now, in this particular case, I think it's, as I said, from 1942, in 1936, there was another case that was fought, very famous one, which I document in detail in this book called Deen Mohammed versus the State. Now, this is a non-representative suit because the Hindus were not made a party to it. It was only a case between the Muslim side and the British government. And so the findings of that will not be binding on the Hindu community today, but it opens a window to very interesting details of the time. One of it is that the British court adjudicated, after going through a gamut of evidences and documents and everything, to say that this was not a Waqf property, the Gyanvapi mosque. Because Aurangzeb may have ordered the breaking of the temple, but there was no farman of his which says, I'm dedicating this land to build a mosque in its place. According to the rules of Waqf, a Waqif or a donor, first of all, that land has to belong to me. I need to have the property documents and the title deed. So, of course, as the emperor, the entire land belonged to him. But he should have made, or his subordinate should have made, some deed or document saying, this property of mine, I am dedicating to Allah for perpetuity. And that is what is a Waqf. Now, in this case, there is no Waqif, there is no Waqf records, and that's what the British courts held in 1936, 37, and 1942, that this is a legally it is not a Waqf property. Now, even if you look at it theologically, in Islamic law, worshipping or offering namaz in a place which is encroached or usurped from somebody else without that person's permission, that is haram, that is not allowed. So theologically also, if one looks at it, the entire Gyanvapi mosque as it exists today should be illegal structure, not only in the eyes of the law per se, but also in Islamic law. But then still, it's a property issue. The second is it becomes a matter of ego, saying, giving this up will, lead me to lose something, and it's a loss for my religion, which kind of doesn't let people let go of things which they know are blatantly wrong. Now, in the case of Ayodhya, constantly the demand was, where is the evidence? Show us the evidence, and so on. Here, the evidence itself is screaming its head off to tell you that, what the truth is. You didn't need an ASI survey to show you what the Western walls show to a naked eye, that this is a temple. Anybody who enters from that gate 4 today and goes into this new Vishwanath corridor, you cross the Gyanvapi Masjid, and the first thing you see is the Khandahars. So you don't need a survey, which also has been shown now. An advocate commissioner survey was done, an ASI survey was done with 800 pages of evidence given. Despite that, if you say, I will not give it up, I don't believe in the ASI survey is Hindutva oriented. I mean, archaeology is not Hindutva or Islamic, it is scientific. It is irrespective of what religion it is. So you have used the modern technology. There are graphs, there are measurements, calculations in the ASI survey report. There are inscriptions that have come up right from the 12th to the 17th century, broken idols of deities, all in the debris there. So despite that, if one says, I'm going to hold on to this and I'm not going to give it up, and it will be street veto, laws can be passed, Till some time, it was always like, we believe in the courts of this country. But now the courts itself are, from the civil courts in Varanasi to the Allahabad High Court to even the Supreme Court, these processes have gone unimpeded, right? So many appeals were done to quash the surveys. But the masjid side lost in almost every occasion on the merits of the case, and it's not a loss for a religion or something. So that is why I think this ego that is there, of wanting to hold on to something despite knowing very clearly that what you're holding on to is illegal.